TV AM News. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. Power outage in the National Assembly delayed the commencement of plenary in the Senate chamber as the lawmakers waited for about an hour before power was restored. The power cut by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, ADC, occurred moments before the commencement of plenary session, leaving the Red Chamber in partial blackout. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, waited in the dimly lit plenary room for the restoration of power. The lights eventually flickered back to life, prompting Akpabio to commence the plenary session. Expressing regret over the inconvenience caused by the outage, Akpabio acknowledged the discomfort in the chamber. He further revealed that the blackout had affected approximately 9 offices, assuring everyone that efforts were underway to rectify the situation. In continuation of measures to address the food inflation and cost of living crisis, the federal government says it had so far intercepted 141 trucks attempting to smuggle grains and other staples to Niger Republic, Chad, Cameroon, and the Central African Republic. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adeniyi, said that the service had within 2 weeks arrested about 120 trucks smuggling food items from Nigeria, while the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission stopped 21 food trucks from leaving the country as the CG was disclosing the measures being enforced to ensure food security at the House of Representatives in Abuja. Truck drivers who have been targets of attacks by hoodlums had threatened to declare a strike if the situation persisted. Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment has sensitized the residents of Katsina State on the need to acquire skills and vocational education to be self-reliant. The campaign, organized by the Ministry's Skills Development and Certification Department, is part of its apprenticeship and traineeship attestation program in the Northwest Zone and Katsina Town in particular. During the tour of various training centers in Katsina Town, the Deputy Director of the Skill Development and Certification Department, Engineer Tiza Chila Shaka, said the exercise was to encourage young Nigerians to embrace apprenticeship and handwork. The federal government has announced that traffic would be restricted from Lagos Island to Iyanowuru on the 3rd mainland bridge to allow for repairs. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos State, Olukorede Kesha, disclosed this in a statement in Lagos. Kesha, who encouraged motorists to cooperate with traffic officials, apologized for any inconvenience that the restrictions might cause motorists. The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the national security implications of the current status of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and other digital assets transactions. This followed the adoption of a motion by Rep. Isiaka Ibrahim, APC Ogun, during plenary in Abuja. Moving the motion, Isiaka said there are growing global concerns about the national security implications of cryptocurrency transactions through cryptocurrency exchanges, including consumer and investor security. Adopting the motion, the House said it would investigate international money transfer operators, payments gateways, and platforms, and cloud computing. Moving on, the House of Representatives has summoned the Minister of Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, and his transportation counterpart, Saidu Alkali, over alleged fraudulent concession of some ports infrastructure. Also invited for questioning are the Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Mohammed Bello Koko, the Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprise, Maman Amadu, as well as the Director General of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Michael Ohiani, among others. The Chairman of the House Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, Ibrahim Hamisu, issued the summons at a meeting with the seaport terminal operators in Abuja. The lawmakers lamented the absence of the top government officials to explain their role in the concession of the seaport terminals. The Edo House of Assembly commenced impeachment proceedings against the state deputy governor Philip Shaibu. The majority leader, Charity Aigu Baregian, who announced the impeachment notice during plenary, said the petition dated March 5th was signed by 21 out of the 24 members against the deputy governor. He also stated that the petition was based on 2 grounds: perjury and revealing of government secrets. The Speaker of the House, Blessing Agbebaku, who acknowledged receipt of the petition, directed the Clerk of the House, Yahaya Omogbai, to serve Shaibu the impeachment notice. Agbebaku also gave the Deputy Governor 7 days to respond to the notice of impeachment. 19 persons have been confirmed killed by Lassa fever in Taraba State between January and February 2024 at the Federal Medical Center, FMC Jalingo, in the state capital. The hospital's acting head of clinical services, Joseph Kuni, disclosed this in an interview. Kuni said the hospital have 10 patients in isolation ward. Some of the results are being awaited. From January to February, the center has recorded 19 Lassa fever deaths from the isolation center. The outbreak of the disease was further confirmed by the State's Commissioner for Health, Bangshia Buma. The Seme Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted a truckload containing 400 bags of beans valued at 61.4 million naira. A statement posted on the service's official X handle disclosed that the Customs Area Controller, Comptroller Timi Bomodi, made the announcement of the seizure during a press briefing. Bomodi further said that revealed that the seized beans will be auctioned to the public. The Nigerian Customs Service, Sokoto Zamfara Area Command, says it's on standby for the reopening of the Nigeria-Niger border at Ilela, Sokoto State. The Customs Area Controller, Kamal Mohammed, while on a working visit at the border post, said he was at the station to ensure that all was set in anticipation of the last order. The controller, who was accompanied by his management team while addressing stakeholders at the entry point, said with the lift of ECOWAS sanctions on Niger Republic and subsequent restoration of power supplies in Niger Republic, the service will ensure all is set towards the reopening of the Ilela border while awaiting the last order. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Wednesday struck out an appeal the federal government filed to reopen the trial of a former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzo Kalu. The appellate court, in a unanimous decision by the 3-member panel of justices, held that the record of appeal FG transmitted before it was incompetent. In the lead verdict that was delivered by Justice J.O.K. Oyewale, the court held that federal government failed to properly transmit the record as prescribed by its extant rules, adding that it was neither stamped nor the official designation of the person who signed it indicated. You're watching AM News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. The AM News continues shortly. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the AM News. On the foreign scene, Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump expressed his support for Israel's war in Gaza. In his most explicit comments yet on the fighting as international pressure grows on the United States to rein in its ally. The interviewer asked if the former president was on board with the way Israel was executing its offensive in Gaza. President Joe Biden, whom Trump is set to challenge for the White House in November, has come under increasing fire both internationally and from his own Democratic base over his backing for Israel as the death toll in Gaza soars and the specter of famine looms. Russia has said it does not recognize arrest warrants issued by the International Criminal Court ICC for two top Russian commanders named Sergei Kobylash and Viktor Sokolov over alleged war crimes in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said they are not parties to the Rome Statute and do not recognize it. This is the second time warrants have been issued for Russians over the war in Ukraine. Peskov say the fact that Russia was not a signatory to the Rome Statute, the international treaty which created the ICC, meant Russia did not recognize the warrant. Thousands of Indian farmers are trying to march once again to the capital Delhi to demand minimum price guarantees for their crops. The farmers had suspended their strike at the end of February after a young farmer died during the protest. To prevent the march, Delhi's border are heavily barricaded and police have been deployed. The farmers' protests have restarted even as India is just months away from holding general elections. When the farmers' protest first resumed in the beginning of February, the government had held talks with unions to stop them from marching to Delhi from the neighboring states of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Talks with the government broke down at least 3 times after the authorities could not meet all of their demands. Peru's Prime Minister Alberto Tarola has resigned over allegations he attempted to use his influence to help a woman gain lucrative government contracts. The scandal escalated last week when the Peruvian TV broadcaster aired audio clips of what it said were conversations between the two. Otaralo has denied any wrongdoing. A formal investigation has been launched into the allegations. According to the Panorama program, which first aired the clips over the weekend, the woman, Otaralo, can be heard speaking to the Yazira Pinedo. Pinedo was reportedly awarded 2 contracts for work in the Defense Ministry in 2023 that earned her a total of $53,000 and $14,000, including €11,000. Otaralo was Peru's defense minister until the end of 2022 when President Dina Boluarte took office and he was promoted. Let's take a quick look at the business desk. The Nigerian exchange has emerged as the #1 exchange in Africa in the first 2 months of 2024 as investors enjoyed 33.70% returns on investors. A statement from the NGX revealed that the local bourse was rated as the best performing in Africa ahead of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Egyptian Exchange Index and the Ghana Stock Exchange. Earlier in January, NGX emerged as the world's best performing stock market in the first 3 weeks of 2024, beating Argentina, which came second. Between January and February, the market's capitalization has appreciated by 13.79 trillion naira. The market cap of listed equities had opened the year at 40.917 trillion naira and closed February at 54.707 trillion naira. As of January, the CBN announced that it had cleared $2 billion of the Forex backlog and paid $61.46 million to foreign airlines operating in the country from their trapped funds, unveiling his policy mandate at the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria's 58th Annual Bankers Dinner and grand finale of the Institute's 60th anniversary held in Lagos last year. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, reeled out his plans to strengthen investors' confidence, attract capital inflows, stimulate domestic investment, and ultimately improve the level of external reserves. One of the challenges that Cardoso promised to address was the issue of foreign exchange backlogs. The CBN was owing investors over $7 billion in unmet forex demand, which made the likes of Emirates Airlines suspend their operations in the country. In entertainment, a pop star has issued a after licensed fans accused her of betrayal because she has a boyfriend. The fans reportedly drove a truck to pop star Karina's agency after finding out she was dating actor Lee Jae-wook, promising to show a more mature and hard-working side in future. The 23-year-old wrote, "The singer, real name Yoo Jimin, has led the four-woman aespa since their debut in 2020 with the single Black Mamba. Last year, their record-breaking album, My World, sold 2.1 million copies in South Korea. This is not an isolation incident. However, pop stars in South Korea and Japan work in a notoriously pressuring industries where such personal revelations can be tricky to navigate." Let's join Samuel Odi for more update on entertainment news.
Afrobeat's most reliable hit makers, who has released hit songs every year since breaking into the mainstream in 2015 with his hit single, Would You? The award-winning superstar is yet to release a new EP titled Thanks a Lot. The 5-track EP will feature new tracks, Suna, Showa, Jejeli, and previously released Too Busy to Be B and Twek Twek. Kizz Daniel made this announcement on his social media with the new project set to be released on the 11th of March 2024. The EP is set to extend Kizz Daniel's hit-making run as it comes off the back of the release of Twek Twek Remix featuring Davido, who has stated his desire to release a joint EP with Kizz Daniel. Thanks a Lot EP is going to be Kizz Daniel's second EP after Barnabas, which was released in 2021. It will also be his 6th project in 8 years as Kizz Daniel continues to maintain his stature as one of Afrobeat's hit makers. 2023 was an unforgettable year for Nigerian music scene as it saw the breakout of music star Odumodu Black and Charlie Poppy, who maintained success. Two of the Nigerian hottest artists, Odumodu Black and Charlie Poppy, are set to embark on first-of-its-kind joint tour in Afrobeats. Cashing in their superstar tokens, the rappers will be sharing the stage across 9 cities in the United States in the joint tour set to kick off on the 27th of April 2024 at the Uptown Theater in Minneapolis. The duo will be making stops in Houston, Dallas, New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, and more before wrapping up in Dallas at House of Blue on the 27th of May 2024. The tour, put together by Live Nation in partnership with the labels of the both artists, marks the unprecedented feat in Nigerian music. Arya Starr is one of the most phenomenal artists exporting Afrobeat to the global audience through her sensational music. In another landmark feat, the Grammy-nominated singer is set to accompany Chris Brown as a special guest on his 11/11 tour of the United States. Chris Brown is a popular figure in Nigerian music as he collaborated with different Afrobeat stars, including Wizkid, Davido, Rema, Fireboy, and most recently Davido and Lil J on Sensational, which appeared on the 11/11 album released in 2023. Arya Starr's appearance alongside Chris Brown on his tour of North America reinforces her stature as one of Afrobeat's biggest stars. It also underscores Chris Brown's love for Nigerian music. And that is that on entertainment news. I am Samuel Odi. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Now in sports, Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou are set to become significantly richer once their fight in Saudi Arabia is done and dusted later this week. The two are all set for their contest this Friday, and there are tens of millions set to pour into their accounts with no matter who wins. It's an important fight for both men, with AJ looking to set up a huge 2024 in which he hopes to become world champion again, while his opponent will want to build on his first professional match against Tyson Fury. The UFC icon stunned the world when he knocked Fury down before controversially losing via split decision. Emma Raducanu says she is not too concerned about tournament results as the priority this year is to develop her game. The 21-year-old has won 3 matches in the 4 tournaments she has played since returning from an 8-month absence from the tour through injury. She will play qualifier Rebecca Masarova in the first round at Indian Wells on Thursday. Raducanu played her best tennis of 2023 in Indian Wells, reaching the 4th round, having found out just before the tournament began that she was likely to need surgery in both her wrists. Raducanu stated that she is likely to play in Great Britain's Billie Jean King Cup qualifying tie in France in April if selected by captain Anne Keotavong. Masters champion Jon Rahm said the official world golf ranking OWGR is not a good system after Live Golf withdrew its application to join. A letter from the league CEO Greg Norman told players it will not pursue its bid for world ranking points, adding that it's now clear that the best way forward for Live is a league and LIV golfers is not through the current ranking system. The Saudi-backed league was denied OWGR accreditation in October. 2-time major winner and world number 3 Rahm is among the players to switch from the PGA Tour to LIV Golf. That's it on the AM News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.